Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. Talking about July 26, which will be the day that they will resume the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. There had been this rumor that preparation are on top gear in terms of getting suitable legal services for him. But right now, you'll be so shocked what has been disclosed by the topmost socio-cultural group in the South is talking about Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Even though they are not ready to partner, they are not ready to, be a part of the legal team that will front the case of Nnamdi Kanu, but they have given a strict warning to the family of Nnamdi Kanu and even the legal team that they should be careful. Now, guess what? What they have to say is something that must be put into consideration. At the same time, there had been prophecy that Nnamdi Kanu was going to die in 2021, and the year is making progress. But guess what? Another prophet has shown up, and he seems to be queuing behind the statement made by Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who is the spokesperson, who is the legal counsel to Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to give you all of this gist in a jiffy. But before we do that, if you're not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. This is a cultural group of the Southeast, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, worldwide, has decided itself from constituting a legal team to defend or monitor the legal proceeding and trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IGBOs. The group also urged Nnamdi Kanu's family to be wary of unscrupulous elements and evil machinery sponsored by the Fulani Caliphate and enemies of IGBOs to infiltrate Kanu's legal team and wreak havoc. According to them, the group says they should not trust shenanigans trying to get inside information about the techniques of Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. In a statement signed by Mazi Okechukwu Zoro, Secretary General Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the group said it has been confirmed that the Fulani businessmen had mobilized some shameless Igbo elders after their meeting with factional leaders of Northern elders a few days ago to implant malls into the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu and wreak havoc by adopting the brand name of Ohanaeze for their mischievous purposes was aimed to deceive Nnamdi Kanu's legal team and IGBOs. Ohanaeze pointed out that it remains the constitutional right of Nnamdi Kanu and his family to choose his legal team, not that of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. According to the group, they said, we wish to warn these social media fraudsters and media paper tigers to desist from using Ohanaeze's name, or they will face the consequences and the full weight of the law. We will no longer tolerate any further act of adult delinquencies and shenanigans, but will employ all necessary legal prosecution against political jobbers and musketeers. Meanwhile, in another development, the leader of INRI Evangelical Spiritual Church, Premier Ayodele, has reacted to claims that Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra IGBOs, will die in detention. Premier Ayodele assured that Kanu will not die in prison despite his current travail. Speaking in his church on Saturday, the clergyman stressed that the IGBOs leader will eventually be granted bail again. According to Ayodele, and I quote is what he said, Nnamdi Kanu will not die in prison. Much later, he will be granted bail. In 2017, Kanu was first arrested and later charged before an Abuja Federal High Court led by Justice Binta Nyako. In the same year, Justice Nyako granted the IGBOs leader bail, but he jumped it and left for Europe, where he continued his agitation for the actualization of Biafra. However, a few weeks ago, Kanu was brought into the country by the Nigerian government. Many believe that the country where this happened was Kenya. Upon his brought in, the IGBOs leader was taken back to Nigeria and rearraigned before Justice Nyako again. The trial judge reprimanded him in the custody of the DSS. Meanwhile, Kanu's lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, has disclosed that the IGBOs leader would soon be released. Wow, so much to talk about here. I mean, a lot of things that are showing up currently is a pointer to the fact that most people really want to have an insight, to what will be happening on July 26th. It's been an issue of great concern. Don't forget that most threatening of the words that have been said, well, I'm talking about threatening the peace of certain people who may likely want Nnamdi Kanu to stay in the prison, is the fact that they fairly recently, the person leading his legal team, talking about Ifeanyi Ejiofor, came up and gave Ndigbos, or called Biafrans, a lot of hope that very soon he will be released from DSS custody. And, that brought back so much life, because a lot of people were just wondering what would the case look like, considering the fact that most people have been talking from different directions. But right now, as we're talking, they are trying to constitute a legal team, that will represent Nnamdi Kanu come the 26th of July. Now, first of all, if you check our feed, you're going to see one of the news. It all started with the Igbo Lawyers Association trying to get the best hands, who are very fit in international law to come in during that day and, help out. But with what these guys are saying, it means whoever that will have to lead the council of Nnamdi Kanu must be very careful the kind of people he brings in, no matter how much interest they show and willingness to offer their legal services. One must be careful so that, and another thing is, stay off media for a while, because that's one of the things. If you talk often in media, you are going to leak your plans. So try to stay off media, whatever thing anybody is asking. I mean, we're preparing, we're waiting for the D-Day to come, and so that you can shoot some strange, and unbelievable step that will shock everybody. Not everything you come to the media and you talk about it severally and every now and then, it kind of makes you very weak, because before your so-called fools, because they will prepare very well for you, looking at the angles that you are coming from. It's better for you to even say, we are confused right now, we don't know what we are going to do. Then on that day, you play a card that nobody understands where you got it from. That is more reasonable, if you ask me. Now, also looking at what has been said about Kanu, don't forget that one of the men of God came on board and talked about Kanu dying before 2021. And that put so much fear in the minds of some person. Some said it will never happen and all of that. But, most of the time it's not just saying it would not happen that really matters when it comes to spiritual issues, but for you to do the needful, go down on your knees. If you really love the person, you pray about the person and all of that, because that's just one of the ways that you can counter it, and also make sure that you take some drastic step to see how it can be prevented. But shockingly, another person has shown up, which you've already heard, talking about Primate Ayodele, and he said, Nnamdi Kanu, he's actually queuing behind the words of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lead counsel of Nnamdi Kanu, and he's saying nothing will happen to him, that later than now he's going to be released. Now, Nigerians are waiting to see what will happen in the nearest future, because this statement goes a long way to kind of abort the first prophecy about Nnamdi Kanu, that he was going to, die. The man said he's going to die. He's not going to survive 2021. But then this man, Premier Ayodele, is countering it and saying that, hey, this guy will still leave this place that he is currently in, talking about DSS detention. A lot of reactions, Nigerians have reacted to it, and most people are looking at who Premier Ayodele is. Don't forget that fairly recently he talked about that about 100,000 of his prophecies has come to pass as he predicted. But most people believe that he is not even a prophet, but is like a political analyst who look at the situation of things, and on the basis of that, he will now push out his prophecy. But however, based on what he has said now, that more lives of Nnamdi Kanu is going to be free, which is in consonant to what the Ifeanyi Ejiofor said. Let's wait yet to see what will happen in future. But I'd like you to go to our comment section. Let's interact. Considering all of these that is happening in preparation for July 26, what do you think will be the situation like from your perspective? No insults, no mean words. Let's try to,